And we are live. Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Hot Topic series. In today's Hot Topic, we'll be talking about a career change, 6 surprisingly well-paid jobs. In this intermediate class, you'll be reading an article from the Guardian newspaper. If you're after megabucks, try financial services. But if you'd like a well-paid job that offers some excitement, what else is there? Guess what? You're going to find out in today's class. We'll be learning some important keywords related to different careers. We'll work on some fast reading skills, and we'll take part in a fun discussion. All of that and more coming up in just a minute. And first, let me just do a little introduction, and then we will get started. So let me get my name on the board, which I'm going to do right now, if my computer will let me. There we go. Yeah, here, it's working, sort of. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on the link, the first link in the Verbling chat window, you can go to my profile page, click follow. You'll see all my upcoming group classes, and also you can schedule a private tutoring class with me. In private tutoring, I will work with you on a personalized learning plan to get you to your goals as soon as possible. So that's a little bit about me. Let's find out a little bit about you. Here's the link. Let's take a look at that, everyone. And let's see who we've got today. Well, we've got Mr. Jorgen. Welcome back, Mr. Jorgen. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Very good, very good. We've got Ms. Sylvia. How are you?
Hi,
Ms.
I'm
Sylvia.
fine, thanks.
Excellent. We've got Mr. Jose. Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Jose.
Hello,
How are
John.
you?
I'm doing very well. And you? How's on?
I'm doing awesome, of course.
Yeah.
We've welcomed back Mr. Javier. Been a while. How are you,
Hello.
Javier?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And Ms. Simone. Is that right? Simone? Simone Lima. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh, I don't hear you. So, Simone, you need to turn your microphone on by going to the top of the window. Okay, and you'll see the microphone button. So just say hello so I can see that your microphone is working, okay?
Hello.
And, there we go. How are you,
Sorry, my
Simone?
internet is not so good. I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Very good. And where are you from,
Good.
Simone?
I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. Fantastic. Okay, nice to have you. And
Thank you.
Ms. V. Welcome back, V. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. What about you?
I could not be better than I am now, talking to you, V. Could not be better. Hey, look at this, everyone. 6 surprisingly well-paid jobs. Have any of you thought about a career change, just out of curiosity? Has anyone been thinking about doing something entirely different with their lives? You too?
Yes,
I
I
have.
will go to do a dog tester, food tester.
Ah, very good. A dog food taste tester. Fantastic. You know, that pays pretty well.
Yes, for this.
How do you know that you're well suited to be a dog food taste tester, Sylvia? How do you know?
We read another article some months ago.
I remember. And did that get you interested in the field of pet food taste testing?
Yes, they are really well paid.
It's true, it is. Have
And
you
the
ever...
food is better than the human food because dogs has better taste than human. So They say
Good.
that it's better. It could be. I don't know.
There's only one way to find out. Why don't you try your dog food when you feed your dogs later today? And tell us how it is.
No, thanks. Go
You know,
on.
you know how every job requires an internship where you don't get paid? So just eat the dog food and that's like your internship. So yeah, I'm just curious. Well, if you're thinking about possibly changing careers, we're going to look at 6 jobs. I'm just curious, as you read about these, which of these could you imagine yourself doing, and which of these, I'm going to ask a discussion question later on, but I'll tell you now, you can start thinking about it. Are any of these jobs that you never imagined even existing, right? Because when I read this, I was surprised that you could get paid for some of these things. So let's start here. A little bit of vocabulary. We've got some, not too many, but a few words. What I try to do is take out words which might slow down your reading. Okay? So what we're going to do is just first say them. If you've been in the class before, we just listen and repeat. And then I'll call on one of you to, if you know the word, say it. If you see the definition, you can match it. Okay? Or if you think you know what it is, but you're not sure, maybe give an example. Okay? So we'll just kind of work our way through these. First, just listen and repeat. The first word in the top left side. Listen and repeat. Chauffeuring.
Chauffeuring.
Good. That's it. You can repeat it at the same time. So I'll say, how about I say it twice and then you? I'll say chauffeuring, chauffeuring, and then you. Chauffeuring. There you go.
Okay.
That is a French word, but we'll use it in English. Okay, the next word below. I'll say it twice and then you. Ethical. Ethical. Now you.
Ethical.
Ethical. Good. The third word. 2 times me, 1 time you. Liaise. Liaise. Now you. Liaise. Very good. This is a verb. To liaise. The fourth word. Disposal. Disposal. Now you. Disposal.
Disposal.
Good.
Disposal.
The fifth word. Oh, this word you know. Hacker. Hacker. Now you.
Hacker.
Good. The sixth word. Confined. Confined. Now you.
Confined.
Very good. The seventh word. Errand. Errand. Now you.
Errand.
Good.
Errand.
If you say it fast, you don't hear the D at the end. Okay? I'm going to run an errand. We don't really say the D. We kind of drop it. The eighth word, steady. Steady. Now you.
Steady. Steady.
The ninth word, unpredictable. Unpredictable. Now you.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Very good. And the 10th word, potential. Potential. Now you.
Potential. Potential.
Careful, it's not a shul, it's a chul.
Sure.
Chul. Imagine it's spelled
Potential.
TCH. Imagine it ends with TCH. Potential.
Potential.
Potential. Yeah. Okay? Is that like essential? Essential. Yeah. You mean the pronunciation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not really a sh. It's kind of like a between a sh and a ch, in between. But it's a little bit more of a ch. Well, at least the way I say it, and I have a kind of neutral accent. Essential. Essential. Yeah, it's a ch, not a sh. Okay, I'm gonna call on you, and if you see the definition, match it up, or if you can give an example, give an example, or if you can replace it with a similar word, like a synonym, replace it with a similar word. Okay? So I'm just going to do this randomly. V, the word for you is chauffeuring.
Chauffeuring.
If you know what it means, okay?
No.
So
I need
pass.
to. Yeah.
Sylvia, chauffeuring.
Pass.
Pass. Jose, chauffeuring.
Chauffeuring, the meaning is to drive a car that this car is used for working.
Yeah, that's it. To chauffeur is to drive someone around. That's it. To chauffeur. You're a paid driver. That's it. Jürgen, ethical. Ethical.
Yes, it is a standard. It's like moral, but just in a higher standard. What is right and wrong in a different situation, like in medicine.
Right.
I think that has to do with life and death. The more the higher things in life.
What's the difference between ethical and moral?
I think
There's a difference.
ethical has more to do with the legal.
Mhm.
You need some ethical procedures in order to be a good journalist, and in order to be a good doctor, there needs to be some kind of law that defines what is ethical and what is not ethical in
Right.
terms of how you treat people. Perhaps a question is, do we support that older people who dies get assisted suicide or assisted, or we should stop the prolonged treatment for dying people? That is an ethical question.
Sure. The legal ability to pull the plug on life support.
Yes.
Right.
Moral, I believe, is like more of individual term, because what is moral to some is not perhaps moral to others, and people some are very moralistic, and some don't like moral at all. They say we should just do what we feel like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
ethical is something that is more objective. That is something that has to function in a society.
Absolutely. Okay, so ethical is objective, it's systematic, it's legal. Moral is your own sense of right and wrong. It's more personal. That's it. Very good. By the way, Jürgen, rather than saying ethical procedures, we usually say ethical guidelines. It's kind of a general collocation, ethical guidelines.
Ethical guidelines.
It's just, you usually see those two words stuck together in some way. Because guidelines in the sense that we need to be guided by some kind of regulation or whatever. But yeah, absolutely. Very good. Mr. Javier, the word for you is liaise. Liaise. Want to give it a stab or pass?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say that it's kind of link between two things.
It is a kind of link. But remember, in this case, it's going to be a verb, to liaise. So, when might you liaise with someone as a verb, as an action? You're absolutely right. It's linking things.
Liaise. When you go to the court, no?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Who might liaise with whom in a court?
Who might liaise?
Yeah. Can you think of an example? So let's say you're the defendant and you have a lawyer or whatever. Whom might your lawyer liaise with to find out something important?
With the judge. No?
Perhaps. Yeah. So liaise is some kind of like official. I don't know if official is a good word, but it's some kind of like business transaction between two people. I mean, it's not a transaction like involving money. It's a transaction involving communication. So, for example, I'm going to liaise with my financial people to find out if this merger is possible. So it's like some kind of a business-related communication that will take place, kind of official. So, but it just means basically to speak with someone, to interact with them. All right? But you're right. And so you liaise with someone who is connected with you in some business-like way or some official way. It's a good business word, liaise. Okay. We've got a few others. Some of these I think are really obvious. I think disposal is pretty obvious. I think steady is pretty obvious. Okay, so I'm going to skip them unless you want me to define them. But hacker is an interesting word, I think. Simone, are you back? Is your microphone working? Hello, Simone? I see you, but I don't hear you. Maybe not. Okay, Simone, if you're there, just say hello. All right, let's go back to V. How would you define a hacker, or can you match up the definition for us?
I think hacker is defined in number 3.
Okay.
A hacker is someone who connects to other people's computer systems secretly and illegally to find or change information.
Okay, I think that's the right matchup. Okay, and I say this is an interesting word because the word hack means a lot of things. So, do you know what it means to hack through something?
I think it means you break into someone's property to steal.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You're right, that's how we use the word. But the word hack actually means to take, for example, out there in the forest, like in the Amazon, someplace where there's a thick forest, a thick rainforest, where the vegetation is so thick you can't walk through it. You can take a machete and you can hack through the vegetation. Hacking is to cut through, particularly to make a shortcut, to make a path, to hack through defenses. So hack is the action of cutting through some kind of obstacle.
Yeah.
So, all right, so it can be to break in, can be, but it could also just be to cut through something. Like I could hack through the door if I got locked out of my house. I could pick up a hatchet and I could hack through the door. So it's good to know where the word comes from to make sense out of this term. It's not just for computers. Let's see. I don't know. I think the rest of these are pretty obvious for your level. Are there any words that you are unsure about in this list? Any other words that we should define?
I think Aaron.
Aaron. Okay, Aaron. Oh, before I tell you, does anyone know or can anyone give an example of an Aaron before I tell you? Anyone want to take a stab at Aaron? For example?
Aaron, when you make a mistake, no?
No, that would be error.
Okay,
Error.
okay.
So let's put that in the chat window. Error is making a mistake. But if I say to you, I'm going to run an errand, I'm going to run an errand, I'll be right back. I can't do it now. I'm going to run an errand. What am I most likely doing?
Aaron, it is a message.
Run an errand?
No, Aaron.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a message. How about this? Go for it, V.
Fastly.
What?
Run quickly.
No, run here is metaphorical. It's not literal. I'm not literally running. So, to run an errand means to do some easy or trivial task, something you've got to do and get it done quickly. So I'm going to run an errand. What might be an errand?
Children often are told, can you please run an errand? You get down to the shop and buy a liter of milk or
exactly
something. Fetch something for someone quickly, perhaps. It's often something children are have.
Right. It's when you have free labor when you have children. Everyone have kids, and you get free slaves. They can run errands for you all day long. Right. Go to the post office. Go pick up something at the convenience store. Whatever.
There's also something called an errand boy.
An errand boy. What's an errand boy?
I believe it is someone who runs with letters at the post office, or like a piccolo, someone who works as an errand boy.
Mhm.
Also, it could be someone who brings out bottles, like milk bottles, to people in a small cart. He's like an errand boy,
Yeah.
and then he
Big-
perhaps brings something back to the shop from the customers that he has visited.
That's it. So, an errand boy, which could be an errand girl too. I mean, you don't have to be a boy, but yeah. So basically, somebody who is just hired to help out, basically, an errand. So it could be like, yeah, like deliver a message, be like not quite. If you were young and you were doing an internship, you're basically going to be an errand boy, right? You don't have real responsibilities yet. So it's also an expression. Oh, he's just an errand boy. He doesn't have real responsibility. Just does little things. All right. So now that we've looked at some difficult vocabulary, okay, let's actually read about these jobs. I think there's one more thing I want you to do here. Give me a second. Oh, right. One last thing I wanted you to take a look at here. Let's see how we can do this. Here, we're talking about jobs. So, should we do this first or second? I think maybe we ought to read. But I would like to know what you think. Now, you don't know what these jobs are, but what do you think a salary might be? First of all, what is an average salary in your country first, before we start talking about these jobs? I'm guessing in the United States, an average salary is, I don't know, between $40,000 and $50,000. I don't know if I'm overestimating or not. Oh, Simone, you're back. Okay, you can talk now. Excellent. So, what do you think an average salary is where you're from? I'm guessing in the States, I'm going to say 40,000 is an average salary. What about in your country? What's an average salary? Nobody knows? Really?
Well, John, in Denmark, it is in euro.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So
And,
what do you think? We can still compare it.
Well, I had to look it up, John, because I really cannot translate it to American dollars or euro. But
Oh.
on Wikipedia it says that it is 2,307 euro per month. That's the
Per
average-
month. Oh,
that
right,
is the
right.
average monthly net wage from 2014, and it lists all the European countries.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. There you go.
So you have to multiply it by 12 and then do the math and make it dollars.
But up here, what do they have here? What is this? This is a yearly? Is this yearly up here? Oh, no, that's monthly too, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, that's the monthly.
And Denmark is 2,551, right? Up here?
No, Denmark
Oh, that's
is the
Sweden. Oh,
country.
that's Sweden.
Yes.
Oh, there's Denmark. 2307.
And then they have color-coded the numbers.
Oh, right. Got it. Excellent. Ah, I didn't even think to look it up. Very good. So that's monthly. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do the math, but you can do the math. So, okay, we'll put it monthly. Fine. We'll put it monthly. So in the States, by the way, I'm just totally guessing. In the States, I'm really not sure. I wonder if they have the States here. This is what European average wage. Let's see if they have the States. So you just put it in perspective. They probably don't. I'm just curious because we're going to see salaries, and we need to put it in some kind of perspective. Minimum wage. I don't want to know the minimum wage. I want to know. Well, maybe if I look at the minimum wage, they'll have an average. This is minimum wage. I don't know. I'll see if I can find it on my own. Okay, but I'm just curious. So over quite a bit over 2,000 is normal for Denmark. So that's pretty good, actually, compared to here where I'm living. You can see on the map it says 1,000 euros is an average monthly salary in Portugal. That's okay. Maybe that's true. I'd find that hard to believe. I find that quite hard to believe. I think it's lower, to be honest with you. I think it's a bit lower, but maybe I'm wrong. I would have thought.
The U.S. income was in the United States 27,500 in 2011. You can see from the link I just posted, John.
Oh, okay, great.
So
wow, it's lower than I thought. Really?
Actually, the dollar is quite high, so there's not a big difference between the euro and the dollar.
Right.
Sometimes it's almost the same.
Right. It's about one. It's about
I think the dollar
point 0.90 or something like right now. I think
it fluctuates a lot.
Okay, great. And where did you see that here on the page?
It was on the picture. In the right top corner. Yes.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So in 2011, 27.5. 2000. Oh my God, 27,500. Wow, that's 10,000 lower than I thought. Interesting. But then again, 27. Yeah, I really thought it was a lot more.
No, it's lower than before.
Well, it's not that easy to say, to be honest with you. It's not that it's lower or higher. What happens is the wages in the United States have basically almost frozen for like 15 years. I mean, they've stayed the same, but the value of the dollar has gone up or gone down. So actually, they've lowered a lot because they've stayed the same, but the cost of living has gone up.
Okay.
But I thought it was higher than 27,000. I really thought it was higher. That surprises me. Wow. I'm quite surprised, actually. I thought it was a lot more. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Well, I'm just curious, and Simone, what about where you live? What would you say is there an average monthly salary in Brazil that you know of? Just curious.
Actually, I would say it's the minimum wage for the majority of the people, which is almost 800 reais. It's our currency. But I was looking up. It said that is 1,900 reais per month, the average, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I really don't believe it. I think it's the minimum wage, which is 800 reais.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can find the conversion. Because I have
the dollar is almost $1 for reais.
I'm in euros, though. It's a little bit easier. So you said they're claiming 1,900 reais to dollars.
Average.
So that would be about 550 euros per month.
But I really don't believe it.
You think that's too high?
Yes, too high.
Wow. Yeah. That's about what I would have guessed. But then again, how much does it cost? Let's try to think something average. How much does it cost to buy, I don't know, gasoline or milk or food? I mean, what's the cost of living like? It's probably very low. For example, what does it cost to rent an apartment where are you? São Paulo? Where are you?
No, I am very far from São Paulo. In São Paulo, it's very expensive. But I live in a small city, a very poor city in Brazil, which is called Teresina.
Teresina, okay.
Yeah, the northeast of Brazil, and the cost of living is not that high. For example, you can rent an apartment for 600 a month.
600 reais, okay.
Yeah, it's not that high. In São Paulo, you can't do it. So, but everything is so expensive. The
Mhm.
petrol, everything is so expensive. So it's impossible to live on a minimum wage.
Right.
But
Okay.
now the Brazilian government gives a lot of benefits to
Right.
people. They can live a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. And okay, very good. So 600 reais would be like 170 euros per month. So if you're
It's
earning,
cheap.
yeah, but
It's cheap,
still,
but not for the person who gets a minimum wage.
you still have to spend 300, the equivalent of 300 euros on living expenses like food and transportation. So it's not much. Okay, well, let's try to put that in perspective. This article is going to be in pounds,
Okay.
so I'll try to give you the conversion from pounds to dollars or euros. What I'm going to use euros because it's a little bit easier and they're almost the same, dollars and euros. So you'll see the jobs there. When you might want to fill out this chart on your own as you read, and we'll come back and compare later. But let's read. This is actually quite short. Everyone take one of these articles. I'm just going to go in the order that I see you. So we're going to start with Mr. Javier. Do the title and our first article, the race engineer, Javier.
Okay. Six surprisingly well-paid jobs. If you want lots of money, try financial services. But if you like a well-paid job that offers some excitement, here are 6 to consider. Race engineer. A race engineer liaises between the driver and the mechanics. Typical salary: new graduates start at 25,000 to 30,000 and quickly progress to junior engineer roles, earning more than 40,000 with just a few years experience. Senior race engineers earn 50,000 to 90,000. What the job involves: a race engineer is the interpreter between the race car mechanics and the driver, says race engineer Jamie Muir. The engineer takes feedback from the driver, analyzes the data, and makes decisions about the setup needed for maximum performance, then passes this on to the mechanics. Qualifications: a university degree, typically in automotive mechanical engineering or motorsport technology. Hands-on experience is essential. To succeed as a race engineer, you need to be able to deal with pressure. Worst thing about the job: the long hours. Race engineers work 24/7, says Chris Aylett, CEO of the Motorsport Industry Association.
Okay, very good. Just pronunciation. Say this word for me. Technology.
Technology.
Okay, because I wasn't hearing the k in technology. Technology. And there's another one too. Well, let's focus on the numbers for a second. Because so all of these numbers have what? 5 digits, right? 5 digits. So the first number, see that the first number for me under typical salary. New graduates start at what?
25,000.
Thousand what?
Pounds.
Pounds. 25,000 pounds. And they go up to
30,000 pounds.
30,000.
30,000 pounds.
Right. You can say it with a D. 30,000.
30,000 pounds.
Excellent. Okay. So let's put this in perspective for a second too. 90,000 pounds. The senior engineer. 90,000 pounds. That means that the senior engineer is earning 130,000 euros if you get to an advanced level. What do you think about that? 130,000 euros. That's pretty good, don't you think? 130,000 if you're a top engineer. By contrast, if you're starting out, you get 25,000. Okay, 25,000 is 35,000 euros. 25,000 pounds, 35,000 euros. Remember, the United States average salary was $27,000, which is almost the same in euros. So this is about 10,000 more than the average salary of experienced people in the United States, right? I find that to be kind of remarkable. What do you think? Surprising? So that's just starting out. Just a quick question, Javier. Does the race engineer make decisions about whether the driver is okay to continue driving? Based on what you read, would that be a yes or a no?
Not really, no. I think that analyze the information and pass and give this information to the mechanics, but actually he doesn't say anything about the driver, no?
Exactly, right? He's an engineer and he's only concerned about whether the car, and not even whether it's safe to run, but how fast it can run, how to optimize it. Okay, excellent. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, Mr. Jorgen, let's talk about ethical hackers, number 2.
Yes. Ethical hacker. Typical salary. A newly qualified hacker can expect a minimum salary of £35,000 to £50,000. This rises to £60,000 to £90,000 at team leader level. What the job involves. A company will pay an ethical hacker to hack into its computer system to see how well it might resist a real attack. Qualifications. You don't necessarily need a degree in computer science. The industry accepts individuals with a wide range of academic qualifications and skills. To succeed as an ethical hacker, you need a passion for technology and detail. You should also enjoy solving difficult problems. Worst thing about the job, when you are called in to test the security of a new customer's network and you discover that they have already been hacked.
Whoops. I guess it's a little too late for that point. So, by the way, when we're talking about money, we, at least in American English, tend to pluralize all currencies. So it would be 25,000. I'm sorry. What was the current the amount?
Pounds.
35,000 pounds. 50,000 pounds. We tend to pluralize everything. I've heard a lot of Americans not pluralize the euro for reasons I don't fully understand. Like they'll say 35,000 euro instead of euros. I really don't know why, and it's not everyone, but anyway, generally we pluralize. So based on what you just read, would you say that you need a degree in computer science to be an ethical hacker, Jorgen?
No, I think you just need some experience being a hacker, perhaps, because sometimes these hackers that has gotten a sentence, afterwards they just get a job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So,
as a way to get out of jail, maybe.
yes, they get a penalty from the government, and then afterwards they get a reward from the private corporations. That's perhaps a little humorous, but that shows that people can learn things on their own, and they are very skilled in computer, even though they haven't got a university degree. They have simply learned by hacking at home.
Right. The whole mentality of a hacker is that you teach yourself. And they say that the really good hackers are the ones who don't get caught. Like, what's that guy, Mitnick, the famous one, who's like a consultant, top-level consultant now. You know, they say, at least, that, yeah, he had a moment in the sun. But the whole point is that he wasn't as good as the others who have never been caught. They're still out there hacking. That's what they say. But you're absolutely right. You're supposed to be, if you're a real hacker, you just learn to take things apart. You do it on your own.
It's very individualistic and anarchistic. Can you say that?
Anarchistic. Anarchistic. Anarchistic meaning that it's self-rule?
Yes.
Yeah? How is it
Completely
anarchistic?
rules and, I don't know. Well, they are very they have their opinions and they really stand on them. And
Okay.
in a way, I think that's good.
It's
They
just
hate monopolies and
sure,
things like
sure,
that.
sure.
But
No, it's just if you say anarchistic to me that means self-governed
yes,
without
that perhaps is the wrong word.
ah.
But individualistic, they certainly are.
hmm I think a lot of hackers are anarchists for sure. But I don't know if they are anarchistic only because uh, I don't. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they do have a kind of self-governance. Maybe I'm not sure. But yes, you're right. Very individualistic and very moral as well. They have very strong opinions about conglomerates and government spying and corporations. Yeah, absolutely.
They break the DVD codes and the Blu-ray codes if they can
Thank
get away
God.
with it. Yes.
Thank God. DVD codes are the craziest things I've ever seen. I don't actually watch DVDs anymore because everything's online, but that just really blew my mind when you had these zoning things, and it's just a stupid piece of software that's preventing you uh, from buying a DVD or whatever, and you can't get something on Amazon because it won't play in Europe or something like that. Yes. So there you go. Okay, we've got 3 more or 4 more. So Jose, can you take the bomb disposal diver for
Okay,
us?
bomb disposal diver. Typical salary. In the private sector, you can earn up to 100,000 pounds, working just 2 months out of every 3. What the job involves: descending to the sea bed and searching for unexploded bombs, shells, grenades, and landmines, then either safely recovering and collecting the weapons or securely disposing of them. Qualification: to dive offshore, you must have diving qualifications. To be able to dispose of the bomb safely, you'll also need an explosive disposal qualification and years of experience. To succeed as a bomb disposal diver, you need to stay calm in stressful situations. You work alone underwater with zero visibility, and if you don't like living in small confined spaces with lots of the other people, forget it. Forget it.
Yeah,
Worst thing about the job: expect to be away from home at least 6 months of the year.
that's it.
I think it is a risky work.
I would imagine so. By the way, look at this word in the chat window, Jose.
Okay. Yes.
Can you say that word for me?
Private.
Yeah, because you said private the first time.
Private. Okay.
There you go,
Private.
private. Okay, and based on what you read, do divers, listen to the question carefully, do divers need to confine bombs to spaces?
Yes.
Listen
They,
carefully.
yes, they work in a small.
Listen, wait. This is a yes or no question. Listen carefully.
Okay.
Do divers need to confine bombs to spaces? Yes or no?
Confine bombs?
To
The
spaces.
divers need to confine bombs.
Because what I want you to do here is I want you just to use your ears. Just your
Yes.
ears. I'm going to ask one more time. If you have difficulty, I'll put it in the chat window. Listen.
Yes.
Do bomb disposal divers need to confine bombs to spaces?
To spaces.
Yes or no? It's difficult, isn't it? Take a look at what I said. Look in the chat window. See it?
Bonds to spaces. Yes.
Why yes?
Because the diver needs to confine spaces.
No. It's a trick
No?
question. It's a trick question. That's why I wanted you to use your ears. I wanted to see if you could catch the trick.
Confine is similar to close the space.
That's true. That's true. But it's a trick question. Because
Yes.
in the article it says, if you don't like living in small confined spaces, then
Yes.
forget it.
Okay. I
So,
understand.
do divers need to confine bombs? No.
No.
Divers have to
Confine
confine themselves.
spaces.
They have to confine themselves. They have to be in little tiny spaces because they're
Yes.
going to probably go out in like either a boat or a little submarine or something like that.
Okay.
So it's a trick question. I tricked you.
No, the divers need to confine spaces, no bombs.
They need to confine themselves.
Confine spaces, no?
No, themselves. They're the ones.
Themselves.
They're
Okay.
the ones. They're the ones who. So confined spaces means tiny, closed spaces.
Yes.
What do you put in them? Bombs? No. You put yourself. As a diver,
Okay.
you put yourself in that.
Okay. Okay.
So the reason it's a trick question is because it depends on. You have to see the meaning of confine in the context. That's why it's tricky.
Okay.
I got you. I tricked you. I tricked you, Jose. I'm just kidding. It's a difficult question, actually.
Yes.
It's confusing. But there you go. And do you think, Jose, also
Yes, yes.
something I was going to ask you?
Go ahead.
Bomb disposal divers. Do bomb disposal divers work alone? From what you've seen.
I think that bomb disposal divers work alone. Yes.
I think so too.
Because it's very dangerous to work with other people, I think.
Yeah. Plus, if the bomb goes off, you only lose.
If the bomb explodes, only die one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you that way you have more bomb disposal divers to go around. Okay, Sylvia, let's try social engineer. Let's find out about that.
Yes. Social engineer, typical salary. Graduates start on £25,000, but salaries increase rapidly with qualifications and experience, rising to between £50,000 and £80,000 on average. The job: companies pay a social engineer to try to trick employees into giving them confidential information that allows the engineer to access sensitive company data or the company's computer network. Qualifications: typically social engineers have a degree in IT, although an understanding of psychology is useful. To succeed as a social engineer, you need the confidence to lie convincingly and the ability to fit in almost anywhere without looking too out of place. You also need a strong sense of personal ethics and an understanding of the law. Worst thing about the job: other people may misunderstand your job. Social engineers are not spies, but most people think they are.
Okay. Social engineers. What a weird job. So let me see if I understand this correctly, Sylvia. Oh, by the way, Sylvia, look at the word in the chat window that I just wrote.
Allows?
Look at
Allows.
Yeah, there you go. Allows. Good. What was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah. So let me see if I got this straight, Sylvia. Social engineers are well liked because they throw fun parties and social events. Correct?
No, it's wrong.
Oh, it's wrong. Oh, you mean social engineers don't have social events? Oh,
Maybe they have, but out of work.
oh, I see. So let me see if I understand this. Social engineers must be honest and never lie. Correct?
No, they're more like psychologists. They are looking other companies and do some investigation. So they can lie. They are looking other people don't lie.
Mm. Actually, the article here says they lie. They have to lie. It's part of their job. You need the confidence to lie convincingly. So, do they need to be honest? Yes,
No.
right? Right? They need to be honest to whom they're working for. But do they need to lie? Yeah, they have to be lie. They have to be liars too. They have to be a lie in service of the truth, or something like that. We're going to come back to this one in a moment because I think this one is, to me, this is the one that stands out. Just the one that I was the most surprised about. Let's see if we can just do the other ones. The other ones are pretty easy, and then we'll talk about these for the last 10 minutes or so. So, V, can you take the Powerline pilot, please?
Yeah. Powerline helicopter pilot. Typical salary, £60,000. The job, to fly close to high voltage power lines in helicopters so that the lines can be inspected with the camera and any potential faults and issues can be identified by the power company. Qualifications: a private helicopter pilot license, a commercial pilot's license, and around 2,000 hours of experience flying at low levels. To succeed as a power-line helicopter pilot, you need a steady hand and cool head. Typically, typically, pilots must fly beside the power line, sometimes as little as 20 feet away and just 30 feet off the ground. Worst thing about the jobs, there are no negatives, says helicopter pilot Robin Thatcher. I'm not sure about the word negatives. Is that like mistake?
Not mistakes, but you have pros and cons in any job. You have good things and bad things. You have benefits and drawbacks.
Mm-hmm.
According to Robin Tucker, there are no drawbacks. There are no cons. There are no negatives.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that there's nothing bad about the job, according to him?
Yeah, according to him, it is.
Yep, according to him, there's nothing bad about the job. Look at the chat window and say that word for me again.
Typically.
Right. Typically.
Yeah.
Not typically.
Yeah.
Typically.
I corrected after that.
Hmm? So,
Yeah.
but there you can see the IPA transcription to make it easier. Typically.
Typically. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just read the last one really quickly so we have time to talk about this, okay? Follow along, everyone. Private butler. Typical salary, 60 to 90,000 pounds. The job. A private butler can be called on by his or her employer to do anything from wardrobe management to chauffeuring and pet care. Typical duties include managing other staff, serving at every meal, running errands, looking after guests, booking restaurants, house security, housekeeping, cooking, and anything else the household needs. Qualifications. You don't need any, or at least you don't need any specific qualifications, but you can do a special course to succeed as a butler. Oops, you can do a special course, period. To succeed as a butler, you need to enjoy looking after other people. The worst thing about the job? Long hours and an unpredictable work schedule mean it's difficult to have a family life. Oh, we all saw Anthony Hopkins in Remains of the Day. We know how this works. Butlers also suffer from isolation, cultural differences, with their employer and having to work for people who aren't always nice. And there you go. So I've asked you a few comprehension questions, but I'm going to jump ahead to our discussion. And I've got a few discussion questions, but we'll start with these. Which of these jobs would you choose and why? Javier. Which of these jobs would you choose to do if you had to change careers?
Yeah, I would choose race engineer probably.
Of course.
I like watching races, and I like driving cars as well, and I think it could be a really interesting job to change for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can earn 130,000 euros per year.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right.
Really bad. Yeah. I mean, all of them that you can earn a lot of money if you read this article. Yeah, but yeah, I would prefer. Or this one could be my first choice, or the second choice. Actually, social engineer. It would be interesting to try this kind of jobs.
We're going to come back to social engineer in just a second because I have a question about that. But first, Jürgen, would you definitely not choose one of these 6 jobs under no circumstances for no amount of money?
Yes, yes, I would probably not choose the one where I have to dive because I suffer from claustrophobia.
That's not a good job for you.
But I would like to be an ethical hacker if I just knew how, because I feel that it's quiet and you work on your own and you can make quite a lot of money.
There you go. But that's the thing. 13-year-old kids are hackers, right? So you just got to go out there and do it. That's it. Start to just go online. There's like a million places where you can learn to code, for free. There's like Code School and 3M or M3, I forgot what it's called. There's a bunch of places. I mean, there's all these forums where people teach each other hacking. Just do it. Why not? If I had the time, I would definitely learn how to do it. I just don't have the time. I really would. I would learn how to program a computer. I just really can't prioritize it. I'd love to do it. And it's also not quite as hard as it seems at first. I learned just enough to kind of understand coding, and it's tedious, It's not hard. It's just a lot of things to remember, I think, from what I saw. Okay. Now, I have another question for you, and then I want to talk specifically about social engineering. Just out of curiosity, V, this one's for you. Which of these jobs had you never imagined even existing before?
This list?
Which of these jobs had you never imagined existed?
I think private butler, because I don't think they can earn that high salaries.
Yeah, but they can. Because you're the personal assistant to the richest people in the world, so yeah. It's true. And they do exist. And there are butler schools. I don't know why it says you don't need qualifications. There are schools where you learn how to do it. I mean, I know that for a fact. I was a cater waiter. That's like being a butler. When you work in catering, they put you through a little school in the United States. I had to go to catering school, so they exist.
I didn't know about that, but in my place, maybe there is no school for that, but you can do as a part-time job, and they can train you at the place.
Well, yeah, I got trained on the job. There was like a week where you had to do this course and whatever, and then I ended up not becoming a waiter. I was a bartender, but these high kind of social event places, they do train you. That's where I was working in New York.
Yeah,
Well,
but after reading this article, do you have anything in mind that you can change your job in the future? Because you have basic experience, so I think you can apply for private butler.
I would rather be a dog food taster than to be a private butler. I would end up killing the people I worked for, probably. I have a question about social engineering. Here's my question before we go. Social engineering requires, quote, confidence to lie convincingly and the ability to fit in anywhere without looking too out of place. Look at the chat window. My question for you is, isn't that the description of any job that you do in your adult life? What qualification? Everywhere. Tell me a job where you don't have to lie convincingly. What do you think, Sylvia? Isn't that the description of... Are you kidding? Doctors lie all the time.
No.
Doctors lie all the time. Are you kidding me? They you know, you get these people come in and they're like, you know, completely panicked, and you have to like tell them nothing's wrong, and in reality, everything's wrong. You know, and the doctor has no idea what's wrong with you. No idea. Oh no, 9 out of 10 cases like this are perfectly fine. And the doctor has no idea. Hey, do you know something about doctors, Sylvia?
Yes.
One of the top jobs for people suffering from psychopathy, psychopaths, like serial killers, is to be an emergency room doctor. Did you know that?
No.
The number 1 job is to be a CEO, and like the number 2 or 3 job is to be an emergency room doctor. There are more psychopaths working in, I'm not making this up, this is a statistic, you can look it up. There are more psychopaths working in emergency rooms than almost any job out there. Think about that. Think about that. What do psychopaths do well? They lie very well because they have no emotions, so they lie. Listen, everyone, unfortunately, I've got to stop here, but the next class is so connected to this class that you ought to just stick around for another hour. We're going to be talking about career change because on Monday we read about a guy who went from being a dry cleaner to a world-renowned art restorer, still working today, and that brings up lots of questions about how to change careers, why you should, what it means to take a risk, and also about entrepreneurship. And megabucks means, bucks means dollar, so megabucks V means lots and lots and lots of dollars, right? Lots of money, megabucks. So stick around for the next class because we're going to take our vocabulary from Monday's class, Business Basics. We're going to apply it to you giving advice to someone about a career change or deciding what kind of career change would be best for you. We're going to use that vocabulary and we're going to workshop your career change in the next class. Okay, so that'll be coming up in just a minute. See you soon, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.